Good afternoon, Jet fans, and welcome to my first ever video blog for www.nyjetstories.com. That's www.nyjetstories.com. Want to do something different, new season, new outlook, new look Jets. And basically, instead of putting an online blog with typing it out, I want to do a video. Get it out quicker, get my emotions out quicker, get my thoughts out quicker, and I hope to hear some feedback from you guys. It will be posted on the website. It will be posted on Twitter at our handle NYJet Stories. So let's just jump into it. Everybody was looking forward to opening day, just like anybody across the league is looking forward to opening day. Basically, it's a clean slate. Everybody is 0-0, 0-0, and the possibility of going 16-0 is there for everybody. Let's be honest. Okay, we added Le'Veon Bell in the offseason, C.J. Mosley, Jamison Crowder, number one pick for us in the first round of the draft, Quinnen Williams, Jamal Adams. On and off the field has been really doing what we wanted a leader to do on the defense. And, of course, they added Adam Gase. And there was some bumps in the road in the offseason. You had the firing of Mike Maccagnan. After, of course, the hiring of Adam Gase, you heard that there was a rift between them when Gase was first hired, after we let go of Todd Bowles, after going 4-12 last year. And all of a sudden, the Jets go through the draft, and after the draft and after some free agent moves, they fire Mike Maccagnan, they hire Joe Douglas. In the interim of that, they also, last week, President Neil Glatt steps down, and he's transitioning to a advisory role within the team. So you can see that they're trying to put a whole new look on this team, something that every regime, probably every 5 to 10 years, tries to do. We had with Rex was play like a Jet. Herm brought in a breath of fresh air. Parcells was no attitude or just come in and win type attitude. Stop playing with the reputation you've had of being a loser in December, and every time it's a breath of fresh air. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't totally in agreement with the Adam Gase hiring. I thought the Jets were going to go with Mike McCarthy, but that's all hearsay. It's done. He's been the coach. He's had mini camp. He's had training camp, and everything through the season, or throughout the off season and the beginning of preparation for this season, a Jet fan could look at and say they're really jumping in both feet now. Everybody was waiting for Le'Veon Bell to play. He sat out the whole preseason. I have nothing against that because these freak injuries could happen anytime during the season or anytime in the preseason, in camp or anything. So, yes, save him for game one. What we saw from Sam Darnold in his preseason debuts really looked good. Although he played probably 6 or 8 series total, he did move the ball around a lot. He did look good. He had some chemistry there with his team. Offensive line was dinged up, and none of them all played together through training camp or through preseason. So, fast forward, September 8th, 2019, home opener, week 1, season opener, and the Buffalo Bills come to town. Jets, I believe, are favored by 2.5 to 3.5 points on this game. So basically, it's basically saying that it's a push, or the Bills are close to being favored, since the home team usually gets a 3-point advantage. I got to tell you, it was excitement. My family and I got to the stadium probably about 25 to 10 in the morning. There was cars there already from 8 o'clock when the gates opened. We set up. We went to see the players come in a little bit. We tailgated. We got through the gates and got in probably 90 minutes before game time. And my 2 daughters went down to watch warm-ups. I sat in our seats. And the big thing going into this was field goal kicking. The Jets, I believe, had like 3 or 4 field goal kickers in the preseason tryout. And each game, field goal kicker missed, and missed big. And then sometimes they'd hit. One hit, I think, from 50-plus yards. We picked up a kicker who was dropped by the Vikings last week. And Friday, the Jets decided to take him to the stadium to have him get acclimated with the winds in the stadium and I guess the field condition of the stadium. And the stadium is being set up for a World Cup soccer game, I believe, Mexico, United States. So he's unable to get in. It's no problem. This is a kicker who's kicked. Let's get him, early kicks, early reps and warm-ups. So I'm sitting there in my seats. We're off to the side of the goalpost on the lower level, and the Buffalo Bill kicker and the Jet kicker are missing kicks left and right, and literally left and right. The Buffalo Bill kicker actually kicked the ball so far to the right, so far to the left, that it landed in the seats in the end zone. So, game starts. Crowd finally files in close to 1 o'clock. It is a loud crowd. It is a beautiful day out there. Fireman Ed is back. I don't know if anybody saw that on TV, or if you're at the game, you picked up on that. The other Jet crowd enthusiasts are there. The chant leaders are there, whatever you want to call them. I call them Jet fans. And the Jets kick off. And basically, Buffalo's moving the ball a little bit, but we're holding them. We're not breaking. Josh Allen is under pressure, but he's getting away. We haven't had that big hit on a quarterback. We haven't had that big sack on a quarterback. Then the Jets come out, and everybody's ready for Le'Veon Bell, and everybody's cheering him to get the ball, but the Jets stall also. Special teams, we pinned the Bills deep, and first play from scrimmage, 1st and 10 for the Bills after they're pinned deep. The ball is deflected into C.J. Mosley's hands, a new acquisition. He runs it in for a touchdown. Place goes wild. Defensive touchdown, something that Jet fans see very rarely. Okay? Turnover number 1. Field goal kicker comes out to kick an extra point. Yes, extra point was pushed back a couple of years ago. He hits the left upright. 6-0. And from that point on, you knew that 1 point may come back to haunt us. Fast forward a little bit more. Again, special teams, we pin Buffalo deep. Safety, 8-0. So the first 8 points of this game of the season is scored by the defense. I turned to the people behind me and I said, this Greg Williams defense is going to be flying high all year. They're going to be fired this year. Well, the Greg Williams defense had 3 turnovers in the first quarter, 4 in the first half. They should have had 5, but 1 was nullified, I believe, by a holding call or by a hands-to-face call or an illegal block. I forgot what it was. Mosley had a fumble recovery along with his touchdown on the interception. 4 turnovers, possibly 5, and the Jets muster 16 points total. Okay? Le'Veon Bell scores a touchdown. He scores a 2-point conversion because our field goal kicker misses a field goal from 45 yards out. And not misses like, ooh, he just missed. No. Misses way wide to the right this time. And now, it's 14-0, or it's actually 16-0 after 2-point conversion. And you say, all right, it's 2 scores, but still, it could, field goals could add up. And lo and behold, the Bills start moving the ball. Josh Allen throws a pass into the end zone, and C.J. Mosley, on coverage in the end zone, makes a last-minute move and deflects the ball away from what should be a touchdown. And I see him hobble off to the side, and he's done for the game. Reports on Mosley is a pulled groin. He said this morning to one of the reporters on Twitter that is reported groin tweak. He couldn't plant yesterday on his feet. It was a lot of pain. That's why he didn't return, but he thinks he'll be back. He should be starting Monday against Cleveland. Couple of field goals make it 16-13, 16-3, 16-10, and all of a sudden it's 17-16. And the high-flying Jets defense that was bending but not breaking, putting pressure but not getting to, finally gives up 17 points. The defense gives up 17 points and gets 4 turnovers. Offense needs to score and outscore the other team. Defense holds that team down to 17 points and puts up 8 of the points on the game. The offense needs to muster more than 8 points, more than a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, especially, when you have Le'Veon Bell, who I know hasn't played in over a year, who didn't look it. The offensive line to me looked more shaky than Le'Veon Bell. He did make some moves. He did have the 2-point conversion along with his touchdown. I see good things with him. Darnold at times looked really good. At other times looked confused. He looked like not a rookie, but he looked inexperienced, if that makes sense. Had 5 or 6 passes batted down at the line on one drive towards the end. I think had 3 on one drive, or 2 on one drive. He overthrew Robbie Anderson on one play that could have broken the game open. Robbie Anderson also had a touchdown that kind of hit him in his hands, but the defender made a play. In the end, 17-16, 0-1 Jets, 1-0 Bills. Okay. After the game, again, we go see the players after the game. A lot of them were in okay spirits. They weren't exactly the happiest, but they weren't unfriendly. And a few of them stopped. Quinnen Williams walked out with a walking boot on, I should say. I didn't realize this, but he basically played, I think, 10 to 12 snaps. I'm waiting for an injury report on him. Like I said, C.J. Mosley has a groin. He should return. And that's it. I mean, with Robbie Anderson, it could be he had an injury earlier in the week that's slowing him down. That could be it. Our secondary wasn't beat to a pulp, but they weren't shut down secondary. Jamal Adams was in on some plays, but he wasn't dominant, and that's what this team needs. This team is not good enough or not good enough yet to just rely on 1 or 2 players on the team. It has to be a full team performance. And right now, Adam Gase is 0-1, and him and Joe Douglas need to get on finding a kicker. And they're going to realize what New York media is all about. The one thing that stands out to me is the team looks gelled. They look like they're a tight team. They're good with each other, and they have some skill. They're not by all means the greatest show on turf. They are not the '85 Bears. They are not. They're just not a dominant team right now. This is a game they needed to win. First 3 games of the season: home against Buffalo, home against the Browns, at New England. Let's turn ourselves to the Browns, who lost a big game yesterday to the Titans. I believe it was 45-13. Baker Mayfield had 3 INTs. I also hear or read on Twitter that Odell Beckham Jr. Was notified by the league. He went on the field wearing this big watch. I don't know why he would wear this more expensive piece of jewelry, but there's a jewelry restriction on the field, so I don't know if he's getting a fine or what that's going to be. But basically, week 2, Browns come to the Jets. Jets are 0-1, AFC East loss. Here is a conference game. Browns are 0-1, okay? The Browns lost their home opener. How do they come out now? Last year, of course, Mayfield made his debut against the Jets and never looked back. So what are the Jets looking at? Are they looking at revenge? Are they looking at, just another game on the schedule? My thoughts on that is last year, Jets won their first game on the road 45-10 after Donald threw an interception for a touchdown on his very first play of his career. Jets only won 3 games after that. Okay, they went 4-12. So basically, game 1 doesn't mean anything unless there's a horrific injury, unless there is, a suspension, a lengthy suspension. So we're 0-1. We have 15 more games to go. I had picked early in the preseason, I think back in June, maybe even earlier after the draft, 10-6, but we had to steal a couple of games. This was a game we shouldn't have to steal. This is a game we should have won. So now we have to steal a few more games. As far as the Patriots, what could you say? Yesterday, the Patriots, after they pick up Antonio Brown and what I mean, you're talking about a soap opera. This is just ridiculous. This is, Hard Knocks, just missed out on this because after, the preseason ends and the beginning of the season starts, Antonio Brown is suspended. Antonio Brown is calling slurs to the GM. He's suspended. Gruden says he's not suspended. Antonio Brown, tapes a phone conversation between him and his coach. He posts it on Twitter. He posts Instagram, please release me. He posts a video of him finding out he's released and he's running around. And a few hours later, he's a New England Patriot. So your wide receivers on the New England Patriots right now, off the top of my head, Julian Edelman, Josh Gordon, Antonio Brown. And then the Patriots come out last night and blow away the Steelers. So the AFC East right now, Patriots 1-0, Bills 1-0, Miami blown out, they're 0-1, and the Jets 0-1. Miami, a lot of speculation that they're trying to tank to get a great pick. There's also some rumors that players have put in for a trade because they don't want to be on a team that's trying to tank. That is week one. As far as the atmosphere yesterday at the game, once we got to like the middle of the third quarter, you could see the nervousness. You could see that I've been here before. Look on the Jet fans, that atmosphere in the beginning, that excitement really slowed down, and it was almost here we go again. I said it too to my daughter. They never make it easy on us. I really had a feeling that missed extra point was going to come back to bite us. Missed extra point and a missed field goal is 4 points. We lost by 1. But we made up 2 points on a 2-point conversion. So still, we lost by 1 and we lost 2 points. If you want to say, the offsets, 2-point conversion and a missed field goal and a missed extra point. So basically, you got to move on. Players have to move on. Do we take this more personal than the players? I don't know. I hope not. I hope that the players go home and are really pissed and want to come out and hit something and run up the score and get back to work. Because, listen, nobody called us to be Super Bowl champs this year, but we have to play a hell of a lot better than we did yesterday because we should be a hell of a lot better than we were yesterday. So that's my take. Week 2 at Cleveland, I will give a prediction as we get closer to the game. We have a full week. It's a Monday night game, so we actually have, which I think is great for any injuries that we may have, any more preparation, and that's it. I'll say this one last thing. People talking about home field advantage, MetLife Stadium. If we had our own stadium, okay, here's my thoughts. Okay, I've been a fan for this team since 1984. My first game was in '84 at Shea Stadium. Mark Gasso had 4 sacks, and we lost 17-14. It was a great atmosphere. Gasso did a sack dance. I want to say Free McNeil scored a touchdown, or Johnny Hector scored a touchdown. I forgot who it was. But it was a great atmosphere. I've been going to games since '91 at the Meadowlands. Yes, sometimes the crowds are dead, sometimes the crowd's electric. You go back to the game against the Colts in the playoffs, electric. The game against the Patriots, the game against the Patriots in '09, so loud, my feet were rumbling on the concrete on the lower level, my ears were ringing, okay? And I think like Tom Brady had like 4 or 5 delay of games. The '98 playoffs against the Jaguars, electric, okay? If the team is winning, you will get electric there, okay? Yesterday, yes. Opening day, there was probably 80%, 75%, 80% Jet fans. Yes, there will be people who sell their tickets for a profit. There will be people who sell their tickets to friends, who give their tickets to friends when they can't make the game, okay? So you will have a mixed crowd. I know it's not Lambeau Field, okay, but you will have a mixed crowd. I know it's not, Heinz Field. You will have a mixed crowd. But to say, oh, we need our own stadium. If we had our own stadium in Queens, in Manhattan, or in New Jersey, or in Staten Island, or wherever they want it, and they played like that yesterday, you wouldn't have a home field advantage anyway. Okay? Home field advantage feeds, the team feeds off the players, the fans feed off the team. Okay? 1 in 15 team, if you play in Lambeau Field, or you play in MetLife Stadium, or you play in Candlestick, or you play in wherever, doesn't mean anything. There's no electricity when you don't feel the team is going to win. Okay? That's the way I feel. You can play in a parking lot, put up some bleachers. Don't even put up bleachers. Bring beach chairs and sit down. And if your team is on a roll, if your team is dominating, there will be electricity there amongst the team and amongst the fans. That's how I feel. It's a cop-out to say you share a stadium. Okay? Because the Giants were in Texas yesterday. They were nowhere near MetLife Stadium. So it had nothing to do with Giant offices. It had nothing to do with Giant colors. It had nothing to do with the name outside the stadium. It had to do with missed field goals and missed opportunities. Check us out, www.nyjetstories.com, www.nyjetstories.com. We're on Facebook at NYJetStories, and we are on Instagram. We are on Twitter at NYJetStories. Thank you. Go Jets. I will give a prediction video closer to the end of the week.